Man, Eagles fans, we need to talk about a few things that have been on my mind after rewatching the last game. I mean, the second half was rough, no doubt, but there's a lot to unpack here, and honestly, some of it starts with the offensive line. Cam Jurgens. I've got to be real, he is not living up to the hype this season. Watching him in action, it feels like the same mistakes keep happening over and over. That swim move, every single play, it's like clockwork. And honestly, it makes you wonder, how does someone with that level of inconsistency end up as a Pro Bowler candidate? I just don't get it. The problem isn't entirely on him because the coaching and play designs have been passive, but at some point, execution has to come into play. Watching the line struggle, you realize that we really couldn't get the run game going, no matter how many exotic plays or tosses were tried in the second half. Fry Johnson, as much as he's trying, he's a backup, so you can't expect starting-level production from him. And Jordan Matta and Landon Dickerson both underperformed significantly. The line just didn't hold up when it mattered most, and that absolutely shaped the outcome of the second half. Now, it's not just about the offensive line. The play calling and overall approach have been far too passive. There were so many third downs where it felt like the team was content just to punt or settle for a field goal instead of attacking. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 9, there were opportunities to push the ball, to be aggressive, to make defenses pay, but instead we saw the offense just walk off the field. That mindset can't continue if the Eagles want to make noise in the playoffs. Jalen Hurts deserves credit here, though. Despite everything, he handled the ball extremely well in tough conditions. He avoided turnovers, something that Josh Allen could not manage in a similar situation. And that care with the football is crucial. But it's frustrating because even with a strong first half, the second half showed just how passive the offense can be under pressure, and that's something that needs to be corrected before the postseason starts. I also have to give a nod to Jalen Hurts' teammates who have been stepping up. Jalen Hunt, for example, has really elevated his game over the last stretch of the season. At the beginning, there were doubts about him, especially as he was meant to replace someone like Josh Sweat, who was having a Pro Bowl caliber season. But these last 8 games, he's recorded 5.5 sacks, 27 pressures, 10 quarterback hits, and earned a 70.1 pass rush grade from PFF. That's a huge leap from where he started, and it's the kind of improvement that can give this team an edge. Jalen Hunt has been a big reason the defensive front has been able to apply consistent pressure, and that should not go unnoticed because it sets the tone for the entire team. Later in the week, we'll break down other contributors like Jahad Campbell, who's been putting up outstanding numbers as well. But for now, Hunt's progression is really worth celebrating because it highlights how key individual growth can influence the team's success. Back to the offense, though, Cam Jurgens has to do better. I keep coming back to the point that if he needs to sit out for the rest of the year and come back stronger next season, I'm fine with it. Brett Toth has shown flashes that make you wonder why Cam is still starting. In multiple games, Toth's performance, especially on the outside, in run blocking, and in pass protection, has looked far superior. Cam's repeated mistakes are frustrating because they are predictable and prevent the team from getting any momentum going. Every time the same move is used against him, it succeeds, and that is a clear weakness that opponents can exploit. It's not just a coaching issue, it's execution, and when those two don't align, the offense suffers as a whole. And while we're dissecting the offensive struggles, the lack of aggression is a major concern. The team needs to understand that being content with just moving the chains occasionally isn't enough. You can't rely solely on the defense to carry the team, especially in playoff-level games where every possession counts. We saw glimpses of aggressive play earlier in the season, but by the second half of critical games, the tendency to play it safe comes back, and that's when teams adjust and start shutting down drives. The NFC is full of teams that can capitalize on predictability, and if the Eagles' offense continues to be inconsistent and passive, even a dominant defense may not be enough to carry the team through tougher postseason opponents. Even with all of that, there are positives. Saquon Barkley remains confident despite the loss in the second half, and that attitude is exactly what the team needs heading into playoffs. Confidence in your ability to compete, even when things aren't perfect, can make a huge difference. The playoffs are a one-game scenario, and one good drive, one positive adjustment, can completely change the momentum. Barkley's mindset reflects that reality. It's about staying ready and believing that the team can compete with anyone. This is crucial because the offense has the pieces to click at any moment. The talent is there. The issue has been execution and consistency, not potential. If the Eagles can find a way to get the line and the coaching approach aligned, there's no reason the offense can't perform at a high level when it matters most. Looking at the broader picture, the Eagles are in a unique position. The NFC playoff landscape is unpredictable, and while the team may not be dominant across the board, they have one of the strongest defenses, which can compensate for some of the offensive issues. But it's a double-edged sword. Teams like the 49ers are peaking offensively, while others have offenses capable of putting points on the board quickly. The challenge for Philadelphia will be to combine that dominant defense with a more aggressive, consistent offensive approach. There's a delicate balance between avoiding turnovers and taking smart risks, and that balance will define how far the Eagles can go in the playoffs. At the end of the day, the message is clear. This offense has to become more than just a first-half team. Third downs need to be handled aggressively. Opportunities for touchdowns must be seized rather than settling for field goals. Predictability and passivity cannot define the identity of this team. The pieces are there. Hurts' skill set, the emerging talent like Hunt, and the potential for improvement on the offensive line, especially when Lane Johnson returns, all point toward a team capable of elevating their play. But the mental approach has to shift. If the Eagles continue to rely solely on defense and safe plays, they'll be leaving too much to chance. A complete, confident, and aggressive game plan must be executed from start to finish if the team hopes to make a deep postseason run. Continuing from the offensive struggles, the key thing to understand is that the Eagles' potential has always been there. It's just a matter of aligning execution, line play, and play calling. When Lane Johnson returns to the right tackle position, there's a real opportunity for the line to stabilize, and that alone could transform the run game entirely. Right now, without him, we see inconsistent protection and holes in the line that opponents can exploit. But as soon as he steps back on the field, the dynamic shifts. Running lanes open, the offensive line communicates better, and the quarterback can operate with more confidence. That's not hypothetical. It's been shown over years of performance. The Eagles have a chance to reclaim dominance in their run game, and that will take some of the pressure off Hurts and allow the offense to open up the playbook in ways that have been missing this season. But beyond personnel, the mentality of this team is something that has to evolve. Being aggressive is not just about calling big plays. It's about understanding when to take smart risks and when to push the pace. We've seen too many situations where third and long is treated conservatively. Even in games where the team has a lead, there's a sense of passivity, almost like saying, let's not make mistakes, let's just punt or kick a field goal. That approach can be dangerous in the playoffs because every possession matters. The other teams are disciplined and fast to adjust, and if the Eagles don't force defenses to react to multiple threats, they lose control of the game. You can't allow predictability to dictate outcomes at this stage. We've seen defenses adapt quickly, and when the offense doesn't respond, drives stall, momentum slips away, and suddenly, the scoreboard doesn't reflect the effort being put in. On a positive note, Saquon Barkley has maintained a confident mindset despite the team's challenges. His perspective is refreshing because it reminds the team and the fans that setbacks don't define the entire season. Playoff football is about single-game performances, and Barkley knows that. The confidence he displays is infectious. It's a reminder that the Eagles have talent capable of winning against any opponent. Hurts, when fully supported by the line, has the skill to manage games effectively, extend plays, and create opportunities downfield. The potential is present. It's just a matter of consistency, focus, and being willing to attack rather than simply manage the game. The coaching has to match that mentality. At times, it seems like the play designs are too cautious, prioritizing minimal risk over aggression. Yet, when you study successful playoff teams, they find a way to combine calculated risk with disciplined execution. Philadelphia has pieces in place. The offensive line with Johnson, Hurts at quarterback, running backs capable of explosive plays, but the system has to empower them to use those skills fully. That means designing schemes that challenge defenses, opening the field for multiple threats, and maintaining pressure on the opponent throughout the game. In other words, this offense must become unpredictable. They cannot rely solely on defensive stops or big plays from individual skill players. They must execute a balanced and assertive game plan from the first snap to the last. The broader playoff landscape emphasizes this even more. The NFC is filled with teams that are capable of explosive performances, and one half of solid play is not enough. The 49ers, for instance, may not have a dominant defense, but their offensive efficiency has been remarkable. Other teams in the league have specialized units that can capitalize on any lapse in focus or execution. If the Eagles want to compete at the highest level, they need to be a complete team for the entire 60 minutes. First-half dominance without follow-through in the second half will not carry them far in the postseason. Consistency is the keyword here, and it has to come from both the mental approach and the physical execution of each play. Looking at individual performances, players like Jalen Hunt and Jahad Campbell demonstrate that improvement is possible even mid-season. Hunt's rise shows that growth and adaptation can impact team dynamics significantly. Campbell, with his outstanding stats, contributes to a defense that can dominate if the offense provides even minimal breathing room. It's a partnership across units. The offense must control the clock, score efficiently, and stay aggressive, while the defense maintains pressure and prevents big plays. The combination of strong defense and assertive offense is what defines a championship-caliber team. Philadelphia has the potential for this synergy, but only if the mindset shifts from managing to attacking, from playing safe to playing strategically aggressive. Finally, the mentality shift must start immediately. Players need to approach each drive with urgency, confidence, and a willingness to capitalize on opportunities. Settling for safe plays, relying solely on defensive dominance, or hoping for one explosive moment isn't a sustainable strategy. The NFL playoffs are unforgiving, and opponents will exploit any hesitation. The Eagles' talent is undeniable. The pieces are in place, from skill positions to defensive standouts. Now it's about execution, aggression, and timing. The playoffs demand it, the team deserves it, and fans are expecting it. Confidence, preparation, and willingness to attack at every opportunity will define how deep this team can go. And with the right adjustments, there's no reason Philadelphia can't make a statement this postseason. Before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep delivering the latest updates on our Philadelphia Eagles. And don't be shy. Share your thoughts on the news in the comments below. Whispers are swirling through the NFL universe, and all eyes are on Philadelphia. Sources suggest that the Eagles are considering a bold, almost jaw-dropping move, a potential investment of $30 million in none other than Patrick Surtain II, the star cornerback of the Denver Broncos. The mere mention of this deal has set social media ablaze, fueling speculation about what this could mean for the league and for Philadelphia's defensive ambitions. Surtain II, widely regarded as one of the premier defensive talents in recent years, has been a cornerstone for the Broncos secondary. His ability to read offenses, lock down elite receivers, and make game-changing plays has made him a coveted asset, and rumors of a blockbuster move to the Eagles have fans and analysts alike buzzing. A $30 million commitment signals more than just interest. It hints at a possible franchise-altering strategy that could redefine the Eagles' defensive identity for seasons to come. Philadelphia, known for its aggressive approach in both drafting and free agency, seems poised to pull the trigger on a move that could shake up the AFC and NFC alike. While the logistics of such a transfer are still unclear, insiders suggest that talks could already be in motion, with agents and team executives reportedly holding discreet meetings. The very idea of pairing certain Two's lockdown skills with the Eagles' already formidable roster creates visions of a defensive juggernaut capable of challenging any offensive powerhouse. Yet, as with all high-stakes rumors, questions abound. Could the Eagles justify this kind of investment mid-season? How would such a move affect team chemistry, salary cap flexibility, and long-term planning? And perhaps most tantalizingly, what would this mean for Certain Two's trajectory? Would he embrace a new city, a new scheme, and a new set of expectations, or remain loyal to the Broncos' vision? Fans are already imagining highlight reels, textbook interceptions, and matchups that could dominate primetime broadcasts for years. The speculation alone has reignited conversations about Philadelphia's ambitions to not just compete, but to dominate, with a defensive edge that could rival any in league history. If true, this move would be a statement, a signal that the Eagles are willing to bet big to reshape their future around elite talent. For now, the NFL world waits with bated breath, eyes darting between Philadelphia and Denver, as the rumor of Patrick Surtain II potentially donning Eagles green fuels endless debate, excitement, and maybe a little envy. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay updated with exclusive news about our Philadelphia Eagles, be sure to subscribe to our channel and hit that like button. We can't wait to hear your thoughts in the comments. See you in the next video.